going on, people? I've had to build up some courage to do this, but I'm gonna do it, innit? I'm sure that it'd be good viewing and people might understand and like this and kinda relate. If anybody can relate to it, I'd like to hear from you, man. This is my story, innit? It's my life story, innit? I decided what I'd do is that I'd go through ages and the years of what was going on in my life from the ages, innit? This is going to include secure hospitals for the criminally insane, prisons, mental illness, drugs and alcohol, suicide, relationship problems. Like, my story is deep, innit? There's some shit that I've been through here that not many people will be able to handle or stand up to. And it would put so much pressure on you that the only choice and the only way out is to take your own life. That's fact. But I want to start when I was 7, innit? Now I'm going to be honest and real and truthful with what's going on with me. I'm not going to hide nothing, innit? And it's quite deep, man. I've been through hella shit. And I've suffered at the hands of evil people. And in my steps and in my actions, I've never really been evil, innit? It's not really ever been in my heart, you know? That's not how my heart is. I've done things out of anger and frustration and over morals. I've committed acts of violence and stuff, innit? You know? But it all started for me when I was about 7, innit? 6 or 7. I used to live in Croydon and Always Lane with my mum and my sister, innit? Laney. And this is the first time that I was ever exposed to abuse, innit? Sexual. I actually, I witnessed my sister getting raped, innit? But I didn't know what was going on. All I thought, is that there's just fucking about in the shed, innit? And I was there, I remember it, I still remember it now. I've been searching for that man for a long time. I've been searching for this guy, for my sister, innit? But I can't have a relationship with my sister because of this. She can't look me in the eyes because of it. You know? That's my full blood sister. Same mum, same dad. I still want to get hold of that man. And I ain't even going to air about what I do to him, man. Because I don't want to get in no trouble, innit? But you can all imagine, I suppose, innit? You know, I'm not saying nothing, innit? But I watched my sister get raped, innit? And I think that was the start of my descent into the abyss, you know? I mean, I didn't really have a stable childhood neither. Like, I was put in care and abandoned when I was 10 years old. I was put in foster placements all over Sussex, Hastings, Eastbourne, fucking Howsham. I've been all over the place, innit? On tour with the children's home and the foster placements, innit? But I got in there when I was 10. When I hit 11, 12, I started abusing solvents, innit? Like sniffing petrol, sniffing deodorants, taking pills. This is like 11, 12 years old, you know. Started smoking, drinking. Remember, I got drunk so bad one time that the children's home had to call the ambulance, innit? And I had to get my stomach pumped. It's fucking crazy, man. But when I was about 12, 13, I was introduced to like crack cocaine. Only just the first time, innit? And it was a family member that introduced me to it, innit? I'm not gonna say who, because I'm gonna put no dirt on no one's names, innit? You know? But I was introduced to crack cocaine, and I took one pipe of that, and it made my throat go numb. It fucked me up. I never stayed on it or nothing, But that was the first time I ever tried a hard drug, innit? And I was living in Hastings. I was living in a place called Old Raw, Old Raw Road near Silver Hill, St Helens Road, and that. Some people out there might know it, innit, if they're from H-Town, man. But I was the don in there. I had that whole children's home on smash. I had a little gang that I called ORC, Old Raw Crew, innit. I was the head of that gang, you know. I was shotting for my nan, puff weed and all that. I had the whole children's home on smash, mate, you know. And then when I was around about 14, I met this guy, innit. I met this guy called Jonathan Lancaster, innit. And cut long story short, this man groomed me. And he sexually abused me as well. In Alexandra Park. Yeah. Now, from 11 till 15, yeah, I was committing crime. I was robbing people. I was burgling houses. I was driving around in stolen cars, motorbikes. I was beating people up. Like, I was ruthless, mate. From the age of 10, that's when I started committing crime. 2000. I was 10 years old and I got lumped with about 7 charges in one. That was the first time I ever appeared in court, innit? Hastings Madge. I don't know, I just think getting abandoned at such a young age, like, it done something to me, you know. Like, I couldn't understand it. I was confused, I was lost. I was a bit like, what? Like, my family don't want me, you know. And I never done anything wrong or anything like that. My behaviour was just challenging, innit? You know? Because I wouldn't take no shit from, like, my mum's boyfriends and rules and all that shit, innit? And I was doing the drugs and all that. But, like, I grew up for a little while. I was born in Croydon, innit? Mayday Hospital. And I lived in Cherry Trees. Franklin Way. The IKEA estate, innit? Valley Park, basically. I lived there, innit? And then we moved to Hastings when I was about 7, 8. And I grew up in Robsack, Wallington Way. Up them ways, man. Hollerton, basically. And the estate was ruthless, you know. But when I was in this children's home, I'll tell you a story about the first time I went jail, innit. And like I was the main guy in this children's home, innit, yeah. So everybody would come to me about every person that was moving in or there was anything going on, I'd know about it, innit, yeah. Because I had the place on lock, like I said, innit, you know. And there's this new guy that come in, yeah. And when he come in, I used to play Sega Mega Drive with him in his room, innit. I was only 15, yeah. And I was playing Sega Mega Drive and that. And I said, what? I was like, why are you in here for? What happened? Why are you in here for? And he said to me, he goes, I smashed up my mum's house, innit? I said, I've done the same thing, bro. But when I looked at him, yeah, and I swear down to you now, he had fish eyes, yeah? And I just got this sense that something weren't right with him. Do you know what I mean? I looked at him and I shouldn't really be judgmental, but I looked at him and I thought, nah, you know when you know that something ain't right. And he said, I got caught soon, man, I'm scared, innit? And I said, look, man, I'll come with you if you want, innit? But I didn't go. I sent 2 of my boys with him, Jamie and Michael Latimer. Anyway, the day that he's in court now, yeah, I'm sitting in my boys' house, Jonathan with Lee Dufton, Jonathan Parker, John Larkin, and all them boys, innit? And I get a phone call, yeah, and it's Jamie and that. They went to the court with him, innit? But they read his pre-sentence report, yeah. They phone me and he goes, Lee, we read his pre-sentence report. This man's in court over fingering his little sister. Yeah, and I've said, come to John's now. As soon as they come, I said, we're running up there. I rolled up there, yeah. I kicked his door in, yeah. And I said to him, I said, you want to tell me the truth, bruv? What the fuck are you in here for? You